Hey guys, what's going on? This is Yatrava here, and in this video, we're gonna look at TanStack Start. TanStack Start is a React library built by Tanner and his team, also called as TanStack. So they build tools that are really good for the developer experience part of things. There are tools like TanStack Query, which is basically React query, which can be used to do HTTP request from the React side of things. It's like super phenomenal tool. A lot of different companies use it, a lot of different libraries use it internally. And similarly, TanStack Router, we also have a video on TanStack Router on this channel. You can go watch it. So similarly, they have also launched TanStack Start, which is a React framework. It's still in beta, it's v0, so don't try to use it in production just yet. But if you are someone like me who just likes to tinker around stuff, maybe this video is for you. This is not going to be a course or something like that, but it's just going to be a tutorial video and going through the TanStack Start documentation and trying it out, because me myself haven't used TanStack Start in a project, so this is going to be a learning experience for me too. And things can change very quickly, so I don't want to create a course just yet for TanStack Start. The last thing I want is me creating a course on it and the next day change something really, they make some breaking changes and my entire video is irrelevant. So yeah. So yeah, let's get started. We are gonna go through documentation first. We are gonna get started by creating an application, and then we are also gonna explore the features and stuff. And yeah, then I'm gonna share my opinion and maybe compare with something like Next.js. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I am at the TanStack Start page on tanstack.com/start/latest, and it says status beta in all capitals, and it's also bouncing. So if you use that in production, and if you blame me or like even the documentation for not warning you before, I'm not gonna listen to you. So use this at your own risk for now. Just wait for the V1, it will be much better. It says full stack React and Solid framework powered by TanStack Router. TanStack Router, again, a very big part of TanStack Start. So if you wanna explore more about TanStack Router, I would highly recommend watching my video or just going through documentation. I think they're really good and you will understand a lot of different things here. So yeah, it says all the features: SSR, streaming, server functions, API routes, bundling, and more, powered by TanStack Router and Vite, ready to deploy to your favorite hosting provider. There is no support for React server components. Let me tell you that it's currently only for Next.js, and also React Router is doing that. So yeah, they have their own implementation. I think they're working on it. TanStack Start does not really have. The last time I saw somebody talk about it, I think Tanner or somebody else mentioned that it's really not priority right now. It's just trying to get the framework to a really good state first and then trying to add more features. So yeah, let's click on get started and you will see a lot of different things here. They also have a really good reasoning section on why, on like if you should use TanStack Router or TanStack Start. I highly recommend checking this out. Yeah, and then you'll also get what you get with TanStack Start. Like TanStack Router already has all of these things. You already get types of support, type safe navigation. Like whenever you try to add like links you want to go, it automatically gives you autocomplete in your code editor like VS Code. And yeah, automatic route prefetching. Recently they also made something like hovering near some kind of links, it prefetches the route, which I think is pretty cool. Like you don't even like just hovering near certain link, not even on the link, like nearing certain link, it automatically prefetches the route. It's pretty cool. Yeah, file-based route generation and stuff, it's pretty cool. Type safe JSON for search param state. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds cool. And then with TanStack Start, you get full document SSR, streaming, server functions, RPCs, bundling, deployment, and full stack type safety. In summary, TanStack Router use TanStack Router for client-side routing and TanStack Start for full stack routing. So it's just a full-blown full stack framework, right? How does it work? TanStack Start uses Nitro and Vite to bundle and deploy your application. In fact, these are the same tools that power Solid Start. Solid, I don't really know a lot about it, but if you want a tutorial on Solid, let me know, I'll make it. With these tools, we can do a few things we couldn't do before. Provide a unified API for SSR, streaming, and hydration. extract server only code from a client side code, which is very important, and bundle your application for deployment to any hosting provider. There's a lot of buzz around Nitro. A lot of people have created videos and stuff about it, but you can check this out. Might create a video later, but it gives you a base starting for like creating like server stuff in your framework. Is what my understanding is. uh, so yeah, they have made it on top of Nitro. When should you use it? It's the same thing. When I might not want to use it, your TanStack Start is not for you if your site is 100% static. As they mentioned, just go for TanStack router at that point. Your goal is to, as a server render site with zero JS or minimal client center activity. JS will be served. It's not like React server components. You are looking for a React server. Yeah, of course. We'll support RSC soon in our own awesome flavor. Yeah, that's great to hear. Now you can just go and read all of that. You can also see getting started, which is basically quick start, and then you have built from scratch if you want to like go and have an immersive experience on how you can set it up. But for this tutorial, we are gonna do none of these. Like they also have this, if you're impatient, you can clone the basic example right away. They have this long command, which, well, I'm not really a fan of, but they have another command which we can use, which they don't have in the documentation right now. But yeah, we can do that. It's basically create start app, but let's go and browse a few more things. If you go to learn the basics, TanStack starts currently powered by Wingshi, Nitro, and TanStack router. TanStack router is a router, Nitro is a framework for building server applications, and Wingshi is a server framework for building web applications. So they just kind of, Wingshi will be removed before version 1.0, and TanStack will rely on Vite and Nitro. The commands and APIs that use Wingshi will be replaced with a Vite plugin. Interesting. It all starts with the router. You can just look at all of that stuff. It's basically how it works. But the cool stuff starts here in the server function. It's basically server action. If you are familiar with Next.js, it's basically server action where each function is turned into an API route, but the API route name is not told beforehand. It's generated in like whenever it's built, and it's quite easy to just plug it in whenever you want to. So yeah, it just like creates our function, and then it just does something, and you can also pass in the method and the response type, and you can just call this function wherever you want to. And then you have other stuff. You have middleware, and unlike Next.js where you create a file called as middleware.ts, they have a create middleware function. You can simply put all of your middleware in a file and just pull in these middleware whenever you want to. So if you have a server function, and if you want to put in a middleware there, you can simply do .middleware and just pass in the middleware there. It's as simple as that. No more middleware.ts. I wasn't a big fan of middleware.ts anyways, you know. Then you have API routes. This is basically just TanStack router stuff, but they have also mixed API stuff here. So basically anything that starts with API dot or API slash is an API route, which you can change, by the way, which yeah, you can customize the base path by changing the tsr.api base in your TanStack start config. Pretty cool. Then you have SSR. They don't have a lot of stuff here, but it's basically loader functions which you can use, and all of this is pretty cool. Then you also have static pre-rendering. Not gonna touch that in this video, but yeah. Now let's finally create a new app using TanStack Start. So I'm gonna go to my terminal. I'm gonna bring it onto the screen, and now I'm gonna say bunx. I like to use bun. Use whatever you want to, pnpm or like whatever you want to do. Create start app, and I'm gonna call it my test start app. We're not gonna build anything complex. We are just gonna explore things for now. Installing dependencies via bun. Cool. Do it. Like, to be honest, even I haven't used TanStack Start myself, so it's like learning experience for me. Let's wait for this. It should not take a lot of time. Maybe my Wi-Fi is slow because I'm not on Ethernet right now. Oh, okay, it's done. So I can simply go to my test start app, and I would like to open cursor here. Let's wait. No, not on the different screen, please. Let me bring it here. Okay. Now we have a lot of different things. We don't need cursor here, but you can commit all of these things, and all the like create TanStack, like create start app, all of the things are here. So you can also like change it if you want to, like, and then you can also go here, and in src is everything your app you need to care about. So like everything you should be caring about is in src, and then you have your app config here. So like for TanStack start, everything goes here, configs. I don't know if we can get, yeah, you can, yeah, I don't think you can get that here. Is that, yeah, you have API based. So basically you have all of these different configs that you can use. And then the next one is Vite. So basically any Vite config you have, you can just plug it in here. Then you have components, which is a custom folder. You can name it whatever you want. Basically they're just pulling it into somewhere else. But then you have api.ts file. You probably should not touch this. That's just enabling the API features, I guess. And then I don't think anything you should be touching here, to be honest. uh, it's it's giving you these lines because there is one really good feature about TanStack router which I want to show you. So if you go back here, it's trying to find a route tree.gen file which is not in here. What is this file? So if I go to my terminal and if I do bun dev, start the dev server, you will now notice that it generated a route tree.gen.ts file. And now this is basically everything about your um, routes. You probably don't, you should not touch this file, and they have marked it. So basically they have this VS Code folder here, and they have set a config so that you cannot like really edit this file in VS Code. They also have this lock icon to show you that you should not be doing this, and they also have comments here. You probably should not be editing this unless you know what you're doing. In any case, I don't think you should be doing that. So yeah, now it makes sense. Now it should just work. Maybe the TypeScript server. Either way, we should not really care about anything that's happening here. Um, let's go to routes, and now we have a lot of different things. There are a lot of different files. There are no folders. Like if you're from Next.js, this probably intimates you like this really scares you. Root is basically the layout.ts for like, if you like, this is basically TanStack router stuff. If you want to learn more about TanStack router, just do it, like find my video and do stuff. But basically like this is apis slash demo names. Like you can find it here, create API file routes, and these are normal routes because they are tsx files and they are create file routes. And now I want to show you something. If I create a new, okay, before we do anything, let me show you how this already looks. Ignore the Stripe one, it's for a different video. Localhost 3000. Yeah, now we have this, and now it gives us a lot of different things. We will look at the code. So let's go to first first I want to show you how I can add more like routes here. We will look at all of these things, but let's go and create a new folder. I'm gonna call it test. Ignore the logo there, but now I can simply say index.ts and just look at the magic. I didn't pause the video, it automatically did that. And there is some error here for some reason, I guess. If I just go back to this file, it should not be like this, right? Yeah, maybe I need to just restart the TS server, which is annoying, you know. Maybe they can handle. Oh, okay, something is really wrong here. Oh, okay, it should be index.tsx. My bad, my bad. It's on me. It's on me. Okay. Now they already made this for us. Like even the route name is here, and you can do literally anything. So like if I go to localhost 3000 slash test, we should be able to see hello test here, and we can edit it to whatever we want. But now let's go to start server functions, and let's like whenever we add this, it like increments here. So what's happening? So let's go here. It's getting a file, it's doing something to file. So this is basically server functions. One is a get function which basically reads the count, and it's read the count by like reading the file, which is this count.txt, which is 18 now because I increased it to 18. Where is it again? Yeah, and then we have a server function which is a method post, and it also has a validator and an handler which basically gets the count and then it adds the count again. And then we simply have the usual stuff here, and then here we just do router is equal to use router, so that like whenever we update the count we can just invalidate it so that uh, the state updates. And what is the state exactly? It's the count. So yeah, basically whenever we click this button, the function, the server function is executed. This is all happening on server side, and the client is invalidating the data so that the like server call is made again and the latest value is fetched again. And in the start API request, it's I think pretty straightforward. It's just making a fetch call here. So yeah, not really that big of a deal. It's simple React stuff. Now, one thing I really want to show you is streaming support. I think streaming is the newest. I think it's the coolest thing. It's the newest and coolest thing, I must say. So what's happening? Like the thing with React server components in Next.js or like even SSR is like, let me show you something. So I'm going to have a loader, which is going to be an async function. And here I'm just going to do await new promise, and I'm going to wait for like 5 seconds. All right. And now just imagine this is some kind of an expensive API call, or basically Stripe doing stuff. And now I'm just going to return hello world, and here I can simply do const message from loader data, because we returned a object called, and we returned object with a message here, and we just use route.use load data because this is named as route, and this should be named route because TanStack Start recognizes it, and we just print in the message here. Now the thing here is that whenever we go to /test, this is going to wait for 5 seconds each time. It's not going to render anything, and after 5 seconds it's going to start rendering something. This is because we are awaiting in the loader, and that's why it's kind of like making your life difficult, you know. So what we should be probably doing here is okay, so we should probably just create a server function. So const get name is equal to create server function, and yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Don't need the input and stuff. This is doing phenomenally bad job. Dot handler, and this should be an async function, and we are just gonna do the same thing. Now this is a server function which we can also provide like the method get and stuff here if I want to. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. And now what we could do here is we can simply say, instead of just doing that, we can simply say get name. And now what happened, like notice that we are not doing await here. Like, it's asking me to do await. Okay, you know what, let's do await here. Okay, let's not do await, we will test it later. But now what we need to do is, since we are getting a promise here, and since this is not blocking, the loader will pass it to the component and the page will start loading. So once the page starts loading, we can simply use suspense boundaries to show something. So now we can just now go ahead and create a suspense boundary, and we can have a fallback loading, and not exactly message right here, but we can do something like await, which is a TanStack Start component, and we can simply pass in the promise, which is going to be message. And yeah, and now it's like whenever you get the data, you just print the children. It's equivalent to saying children uh, data and then doing dev data. It's equivalent to doing that, but instead we just did it here. So uh, now technically what should happen is like if we go here and refresh, you will see a loading. It's still doing its stuff, it's still loading, but you have the initial page, you have the basic everything else, and it's just loading the necessary data. And I don't know if I can show this to you, but like if we go to the network tab here and if we refresh this page, let me put it to doc so that we only get the HTML page. We get this, and if we go to response, the response will change immediately after it gets the data. So I was not able to show you. Let me just try to show you. Maybe something updates here. Yeah, something updated, and now it's a complete HTML. So basically it's starting the stream, it's giving us partial HTML and JS which can support it. Initially it's just loading text, and then it gives you the full thing after it's done fetching it on the server. And that way we are having a really performant page which does not block whenever we are trying to fetch something on the server. So I think that was I literally ranted about streaming, which I had to do because partial pre-rendering in Next.js is still in the beta, and most people don't even care to use it, and I think it's a really banger thing to use. So what would have happened if we use something like await here? Yeah, it's already crying because it's not a promise. Like if we do await here, first of all, it's going to take 5 seconds for the page to load itself. But anyways, this is await takes a promise, and this is not a promise anymore. So yeah, now this is how it works. Wait for 5 seconds again. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again and again, but I really want to show you the advantages. So yeah, that's it. And you can also look at a lot of different things. One more thing, if I wanted to create an API route, you can simply do something like this. So let us see if they can all like they create an API route. If we do something like API not a, let me just delete this before they do anything with it, and I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm from the Next.js land, so I like to have folders, and I'm just gonna create a test route here. So test.ts, it already detected that it's an API route. All these structure elements are unused, so we can simply just get away with removing this, and it just should work technically. And now if you go to localhost 3000 /API/test, it's just gonna give you a JSON, which is pretty cool. So I think TanStack Start is a really good framework. I think it's pretty simple. It's giving you a lot of different tools which can make it easier for you to do stuff. So like automatically and adding stuff when you're creating a file is a banger thing, and it was a truly wow moment. I know it's a React router thing, not React router, it's a TanStack router thing, but it was a wow moment nonetheless. I had honestly forgot about that feature, and now that I see it again, it's like damn, like I'm missing out on a lot of things. But yeah, this motivates me to create a lot more tutorials using TanStack Start. Um, just like I do projects with Next.js, I probably should also create tutorials using TanStack Start. The only thing that worries me that it's still in beta, so like I don't want massive changes to ruin my videos. We will see about that. I hope there are no breaking changes, but it would be fun. Like I think TanStack Start is really fun. It like really helped me reignite my fire to test out new frameworks. If you want a video on React router also, not the TanStack router, if you want the React router framework, let me know in the comments below. I'll also make that video. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you really learned something new from this video, and I hope you enjoyed my deep downs, not even deep dives, like it's like still surface level, but you enjoyed my rant on streaming and stuff. But yeah, like again, warning, it's still in beta. Probably do not want to use it in production, but who can stop you? Like if you want, you can do that. Just don't blame me if something breaks. So yeah, that's it for this video. What do you feel about TanStack Start? Just let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.